What is going on, everybody? Back on it. Berserk, episode 11. Also, I mean, if you're here, you're probably a Berserk fan. Patreon members, at least. This is going to be months until YouTube sees this. If you're a Berserk fan, we did like a 3-hour Berserk live stream this past weekend, so it should be on the YouTube. Just go to live and you can watch it. We read the Lost chapter, Forbidden chapter, whatever you want to call it, chapter 83. We went ahead and did a live reading of that, and then discussed the whole thing about it. Did a character ranking, and just chopped it up about Berserk. How the story might end, thoughts on it, big plot twist, what you would like to see happen, XYZ and stuff like that. So if that interests you and you weren't able to catch the stream, that's be sure to go check it out. Jumping into here, Guts essentially murdered his first person. Not his first kill. Definitely not his first kill, but every other scenario there's been a reason for, even killing I guess the prince or the brother, whatever you want to call. I would even give that a pass, given for him essentially putting out a murder attempt on Griffith's life. Give Gambino the Gambino kill a pass too. He came and started with us. We were just there trying to defend ourselves, trying to survive. And then of course every battlefield kill is, it's war. What can you say? But the kid, he just straight up murdered that kid. Yes, the kid saw him and would report him, but he ended up killing the kid. So we'll see if they play with that dynamic a little bit more here. Maybe some inner thoughts in his head on how he feels about it. We kind of saw him, at the bottom of the sewer system thinking about himself and what he had done. And then we left off with him and Casca overhearing the conversation that he was having with Charlotte about, no one can be a true friend of his if they don't have their own dream and they're just a follower and XYZ and yada, yada, yada. So there's still some decent moments coming up. Griffith and Guts fighting again. The eclipse, of course. The shooter invasion that they're going to have to go through. Casca and Guts getting their moments. Her actually being enjoyable on screen. But let's see what we got. Drag this over here. Boop, bop, boop. We're recording. Yeah, mic's on. All right, let's go. Oh.
Princess Charlotte, is something wrong?
Charlotte, breathe, girl. These two have, I've been saying it. These two have the best color combinations of character design, these two. The clothes that they give them, the eye color, the shade, all of it. He's got like 4 different shades of purple going on right now. And Casca's hearing all of this at the same time. Now that we're going through this Casca Griffith thing again, it makes me think of like... And during these times, I would have to go back and watch my manga reactions. Did she like settle for Guts's affection because she wasn't getting it from Griffith? Or did she have a realization that like it was more of an infatuation with Griffith, looking at him in a certain way that like, oh, I never really loved him like that. He was just all I had, and now that I see that I can get something like that from somebody else, Griffith, like romantically, I'd still serve him, but...
Please, be sure to guard Sir Griffith well during battle. Yes, with my very life, I swear.
That just dawned on me. I wonder if I had that same thoughts when I was reading the manga. Of like, Casca sees here that like she's never going to be able to be what Charlotte is being to him right now. Just from a political standpoint, from a makes sense standpoint. Oh god, the Wicked Witch of the East. So she tries to suppress those feelings, and then so Casca decides to settle for some kind of affection because she can't get it from the guy that she wants, or the person that she wants. I wonder if I thought that when it came out. You're not my real mom. You're not my dad. So she was 16 at this point. I don't know why I thought that when we caught back up to her and rescued her, she was 16, and here she was like 12 or 13. So where she's at currently in the manga, is she like damn near 20? 20s? Yeah, that's an interesting dynamic with the Casca conversation of like, did she just settle for Guts' affection because she wanted affection and couldn't get it from the guy that she wanted? But then you start getting into the whole like the discussion that everybody has about the eclipse of like it being drawn in a certain way that it looks like Casca is enjoying it, and that's a whole separate discussion that I'm not even trying to get into. We've discussed that in length. But yeah, you get it. You get it. Maybe they'll show it a little bit more in the anime, and I'll get a word in on that if they make it seem like Casca's like, oh, I'm not actually in love with Griffith. Griffith is more of like a god figure to me, something I will serve and give my life to, but not something that I actually truly want romantically. It's just something I thought I wanted romantically. And Guts just wasn't there to just like pick up the pieces. So crazy how quickly they just brushed over like, hey, the prince and his son were murdered, BT dub. All right, on to the next. Sometimes I like when they do these like still shot cut screens. Definitely saves time for sure.
For me to call a man my friend, he must be equal to me in all respects.
I wonder if he still feels that way, because we just read that chapter, right? Chapter 83, and, you know, yada yada, had that big discussion. Does he still want friends? He doesn't have any friends, because nobody in the entire existence of everything can be equal to what he's become. And then that gets into the whole discussion we had on live stream of like, what is Griffith's fate, you know? And I have no idea. Purple Iron Dolphin Chain Knights over there. Oh god. He's got his secret family techniques.
What's wrong? You look pale, Casca.
I totally forgot that this was a real moment. It's that time of the month and shit. She's getting cramps and yeah. Careful, he's got the Kolbowitz family tradition on his side. So there was like no strategy put into this battle, huh? Griffith always has like a plan. I can't remember, maybe there will be. He'll like send a force over this way or like wait and do that. This is just straight up like we go. Of course, Guts goes first. When one guy's equal to about 50, that goes a long way. Get him, Pippin. Come on, Judo. Oh my god, in the back of the... What? Appreciate it, Rickert. Now stop giggling in my face. Come on, Casca. It's Casca. They're going at it. She's struggling. Breathe, girl, breathe. Oh, Jesus.
So you're that high-ranking female commander I've heard so much about.
What's it to you?
I don't like it. I don't
He said, I don't like it.
No place playing it being nice. You're inferior.
And of course, he's catching us on like an off day, too. I always hate that.
Try me then.
When characters get caught on an off day.
What's so funny?
Never at their best.
I imagine you keep your men very warm at night.
What?
No
He thinks we're a whore,
high rank
by the way.
climbing into Griffith's bed. Indeed, if your charms are that deserving, I think I'd like to experience you myself.
And now he's got you riled up. Are we halfway? Holy shit, we are. Careful, he's got the Kolbowitz secret techniques on his side. She's been animated really well this episode, by the way. Have we seen
Sacred place. It is for men, and you
a single female character in the entire story of Berserk that's had her skill level as a fighter?
super strong, heavy assault.
That's a human, by the way. I'm not talking like a half mudblood witch or, you know, Shirka, you know, Farnese, because Farnese is definitely not it. Have we ever? I don't think we have. There's never been a female representation that's had her skill level. Help. I was about to say, guys? Guys?
Stay back!
He's too powerful. Casca!
Goku's voice actor cracks me up every single time I hear it.
You're all cowards under the thumb of a woman.
What did you say?
Goku, no. Cheeto, you don't have any throwing stars or like ninja anything?
What's wrong? No more ground to retreat to? Oh, look at that. I don't know why you insist on dressing like a man. You're obviously an attractive woman.
Thanks.
Well, I will give you one chance. Surrender and be my obedient captive, and I shall spare your life. And of course,
Please kill this
by
dude.
obedient captive, I mean you'll have the high honor of being my company's whore.
Called her a whore in front of all of her friends.
I'm a son of a bitch, am I? Then you shall die by the blade of the one you hate! Commander!
Yep.
What the hell?
Big Dick himself rolled up. You didn't hear this dude rolling up on this horse with that massive sword?
What's the matter with you? Captain! It's Guts!
Sword not moving, by the way.
Come on, let's fight! I need it. I have to fight until the voices stop. I want
Oh,
to fight
God.
until I remember nothing.
And he's mentally going through it. Nice. It's one of the better fights we've had so far in the first 11 episodes.
Gotten lucky, it seems, and
The whole transition of him
but I doubt
with Casca and then... Now, how do we end up falling? Does he just, like,
stand my special strike that crushes
destroy the ground like the coward that he is, or what?
secret technique passed down 140 years through the Korbowitz family.
Careful of his secret technique.
It
Careful. Split his muffin cap open. Finish it!
Guns and Senpu. Most impressive.
Who does this guy ever end up actually dying?
Beat that monster in 2 strikes. That's our commander.
I can't. I'm never gonna be able to get over Goku's voice actor. Not being that voice is always going to be Goku, and it'll never change.
I've never seen you like this before. You have no concentration. You're gonna get yourself killed.
She's gonna faint.
Hey, hey!
He's like, hey, you're not gonna. Oh, rats. Who just hit us with that? Damn Kolbowitz technique. Okay, that's how we end up falling. I was like, does he... I really don't remember any of this stuff, by the way. I don't know what chapters this was at, and like, in the first... It's definitely like pre-100. But man, so much happens from this time point. From this point in time. That was actually done pretty well, especially with how annoying that guy's been. It's pretty good. We've gotten 2 pretty good action episodes back to back. I feel like that's when, and I don't know if these parallel each other. I don't know where some, authors may get inspiration from. Remember, and we talked about, I think I talked about Lord of the Rings when we did our live stream in Berserk, some parallels between it. And I've never read it, so I don't know if that's like a movie thing that they added or actually happens. Remember when Aragorn falls off the side of the cliff? And kind of goes through this mental thing to make his way back. This reminds me of that. Because they come back. They come back with a better, stronger relationship before they go up to the point of them on the cliff to them falling off. Reminds me of Aragorn when he falls off the cliff. That's so interesting though that they, because I don't remember that line. When they're like, or when Guts is like, hey, I need to fight. I got to get these voices out of my head. It's like, oh man, he's going through it. But like nobody picks up on that comment. It's not explored again. You're going to break a rib. Yeah, you got to get that out of you. Ew. They're doing a really good job with the rain sounds too. It's going to put me to sleep in a minute. We're very lucky that that doesn't have poison on it either. You alive, girl? Gotta get some. Now it's time for you to repay the favor. Gotta keep her warm until she comes to. Ah, dang. Episode's about to end. We probably got like another minute, 2 max. Not a bad episode, though. Guts just out here looking yoked as shit.
If I build a fire now, it'll draw the enemy to our location.
It looks like early Dragon Ball days of like Vegeta and Goku. That's what he looks like right there.
It's not as though she hasn't done as much for me.
Hold on, do I need to like put a filter up here?
What made her think that she could fight with a fever?
They're not gonna show anything explicit, correct? Of her? It's like, why is she out here with a cold? You never think about that though in that moment right there. Or like in any moment, like in war. Could you imagine like that just happening on like the most important day?
But there was a river beneath it.
You know how Guts is. There's a chance they could have survived the fall, but I just couldn't see where they landed.
And the captain was already injured.
There was something wrong with Casca also. We should send out a search party as soon as possible.
Lord Griffith, I'm sure you understand the objective of this battle and how important this victory is.
He is to leave them behind.
Is conquering our enemy. We can't afford to jeopardize that goal by sending good soldiers out to rescue a couple of men.
But they're the two best men though.
Folk for recklessly fighting one-on-one, wouldn't you agree? That's not fair, and you know it.
Goku, just go ahead and hit one of these and just destroy the entire planet
One of them, the
before it
captain of the
happens.
Hawk Raiders, and the other, the famous female senior commander. Your two
Yes.
most skilled commanders are together, aren't they? I'm sure
They're just chirping in his ear.
that is assuming.
He has to do this. He has to though. As they giggle. Doesn't have much of a choice. Because what they're saying is true, regardless of like the two people that it is that are missing. They choose to animate him in so many different ways across the span of an episode. That like, because like right here, the shot that they're showing right now, he's so much smaller than the shot that they showed 3 seconds ago. And the face that they showed of him looks like a grown-ass man. And then he's not. It's just those little, like, subtleties. Because I'm trying to go back to right here. Man looks massive. And then it's just, like, small. Regardless of that's a pretty damn good episode. I thought the best part was, that line of, you know, let's fight. Essentially, like, I need it. I gotta make the voices stop in my head. It's like, whoa. Does anybody hear this? Man seems a little unhinged. Just a little bit. Besides that, though, a decent action episode, given the, you know, the animation limits of that time. You know, you gotta be careful of the Kolbowitz family technique. Shit does be dangerous. So we've got episode 12. So going forward from this, I'd say by episode 11, hopefully we've gotten to a point where their relationship has started to be established a little bit. And then we don't have really many high moments from that part from then. We have Griffith kind of, you know, meddling with to have the queen and her other like shady court members burned alive. Griffith and Charlotte get their moment. Guts and Casca will have their moments. I'm assuming we get Skull Knight here, I think. The eclipse in general. The fall of Griffith and the hunting down of the Hawks and Guts versus Griffith again. So we got some couple decent moments here, and I'm sure I'm forgetting things along the way. But yeah, I am curious of that whole Casca and Griffith discussion I was having earlier. Was it just like a settling for Guts thing? Which you would hate for it to even think that, given what you see on paper, the relationship that they built and everything he went through for her, through all of it, like I'm saying, to where we're at currently. That it was just like, oh, I couldn't get Griffith, so I guess I'll take, you know, this. I think it was just more of a realization of like, oh, I'm not like romantically in love with Griffith, but I do love Griffith for everything that he's done for me, for the Hawk. I would die for him, you know, I'll take the command. More of like a godlike figure and not like a boyfriend type figure. I'd like to think. It just makes everything easier if that does end up being the case. But we'll leave it there and see. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, and as always,